Welcome back to the Julia Cunningham Show here on Radio Andy. I'm so honored to have the stars behind this film called Idiots, which is in theaters this Friday, August 28th. I have Dave Franco returning to the show. Dave, welcome.
Always. I feel like every press tour, it's you and me.
I know, and I love it. I genuinely
too.
love it. O'Shea Jackson Jr., welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Which I did meet you a million years ago at Straight Outta Compton.
Yes.
Which, iconic. I mean, at this point, well over a decade ago. And Mason Thames, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Which, first of all, I mean, the original title was The Shitheads, which is an iconic title, but I understand how
We're forever shitheads.
Forever shitheads. I get it. I get how they were like maybe for marketing purposes.
That's exactly
to get young kids to the film, let's maybe call it Idiots.
It's just you're not allowed to put the word shit on a giant billboard in public.
Is that it?
I mean, that's part of it. It's more that you just
You're a producer, so this is
like to our distributor's credit, it's IFC. They basically said, "Hey, we're down to ride shitheads if you guys want, but we have to let you know that we can't market this movie to like 80% of the places we want to do that." And this is already a relatively small movie, and we didn't want to just shoot ourselves in the foot.
Exactly. Yeah. Was there because in terms of like pulling the curtain back, Macon Blair, who's the writer-director behind it, and also a great actor and sort of prolific in the entertainment industry with writing comic books and has his hands in so many things. Yeah. I would have loved sort of a sit around where you're like, idiots.
I know.
Stupid boys. Or like, I don't even know. Like, you know what I mean?
I really dumb fucks in that room.
Dumb fucks thrown out. What else we have? You had the Shitiots.
I
love Shitiots.
Shitiots is good. You know what? That's actually just a perfect log line.
Yeah.
If you could put that on the poster, Shitiots.
Shitiots.
Return in Avengers
It's
Doomsday.
like pop star never stop, never stopping. It's like nothing gets better than that.
This reminds me of my favorite tagline I've ever had for a movie. It was called Bad Meat, and the tagline was "It's the meat, it's bad." This movie never came out.
I was about to be like, I feel like I don't know that because I would have. Because I think if I saw that in your IMDb, I would have gone to watch that.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's bad.
You're like noted.
That's awesome.
Basically, I'm gonna how about O'Shea? I have you set it up because we start the movie with you and Killer Mike actually, which is iconic.
Yeah, that was crazy. Also, my first time meeting him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we kind of had to just like it's an indie. We got to get into it.
You got to get into it
right now. And we got to talk a little bit in between takes. But yeah, kind of heavy scene.
How was it crying in front of Killer Mike?
It's not how I envisioned meeting Killer Mike.
Yeah.
Totally.
And having to get there, he was
He's
ready to work.
Yeah,
yes. He was ready to work. Ready to knock it out. How much can we? I feel like, do I go into detail about the scene?
I wanted to I wanted to say a line from it because sort of the setup is that your character is getting let go. Yeah, and this is I believe it's a Presbyterian church, and you have taken a youth group to an NR film, which basically means an X-rated movie.
Yeah,
defend that shit.
And in Davis's defense, he saw a title that was, it's church-like. And thus, he thought it was going to be something that spoke about redemption and things like that, except
about Christ and temptation. But it turns out it was actually a porn.
Not a full porn. This is an art film called Antichrist. Real
You've
movie.
Yep.
The trouble is the context of O'Shea's character taking a bunch of young kids to this movie is in reality there is dick shown during credits. Opening credits.
Wow.
Dick.
Just one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just one.
Just one, though.
Yeah.
Just one.
As described in the movie.
Just show it going.
It's just one.
Yeah.
Dongs were seen. That was from the dong. A dong. And that's what you said. You were like, it was just one.
It's just one.
And we didn't see it going in. It was the editing.
Yeah, they did. They honestly did a great job.
But your character, and this is, the opening sequence of this movie to give us sort of a setup. Your character, Let Go, starts working for this sort of like somewhat shady company that is going to be transporting.
It is not somewhat.
It is.
Yeah.
A shady company, and that's also where, Dave, you come in. Can you give us a little bit of your character?
Yeah, well, so first off, this shady company is based on reality. One of our producers and co-writers, he had his buddy worked for this company where you basically drive these troubled teens to rehab, but you don't have to have any qualifications. Basically, you have a working driver's license. That's it. That's all they ask for. And it's like a very sensitive job. You're taking these like, kids who are going through a lot.
And we've seen, these stories of like also kids being kidnapped in the middle of the night, taken to these wilderness camps and all these sort of things. And
yeah, but we turn it up into a bonkers R-rated comedy. And so like me and O'Shea, we play these down on our luck dumb fucks, and we pair up to take this kid played by Mason, and he's like this rich troubled kid, and what we don't realize is he's actually way more psychotic than we ever could have imagined.
Yeah.
So he turns the table on us, and it just starts manipulating us every step
Sweet
of the way.
Hiccup is insane.
Hiccup's been through a lot since the first movie. I think Sheridan's very misunderstood. I've talked about it a lot.
Okay, talk about it more.
That's interesting. Yeah, tell us.
I'm gonna keep that one to myself.
I bet.
Sheridan is he's a complicated guy. I mean, he comes from a very wealthy family. I mean, the complications of that, his parents are never home. He can do whatever he wants. He can get away with anything, and it's just kind of built up this kid who thinks he's smarter than every single person on the planet and knows he can get away with anything. And he gets taken by these two shitiots to go to this.
You talk about this character in such a tender way. This is like the only equivalent is like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah,
like,
I only bite one person. Okay.
You know what? Fair, but that...
We're giving away too
what
many
a crazy
spoilers,
power
guys.
move.
There is a biting.
Power move.
But we are... I think it's actually interesting casting in the sense that even though we have seen you in things like The Black Phone, but still even then, you are like this tender rising star where I do think it's great casting to have you as a total sociopath. Like, it was very smart because even when we first like bring you in, there's actually this moment where you say to Dave's character, "Do I look sad to you?" And you say, "I can't tell."
Yeah, I'm kind of
I love that.
Yeah,
line.
it was actually a really good setup
Yeah.
for us as the audience to not quite know either what is this kid's deal, even though we know he's going to rehab for some sort of reason.
I mean, not Shay, Dave. When we were working,
we also call him Not Shay.
not Shay. Whenever me and Not Shay were on Regretting You, I got the audition for this, and I remember just reading it. It's when you read something like that and you actually laugh out loud, it's one of a kind. And then again, that writing, it's just Macon he's so incredible and he's so talented. And I knew after talking with him, hearing his vision, that I wanted to do anything in my power to bring Sheridan to life. And Dave talked to me a lot about I've only played the hero, and he really talked to me about and made me feel like he believed in me to do something with Sheridan. So I gave it my all.
Yeah, even though Mason hadn't shown this side of himself on camera before, I had just worked with him, like you said, on Regretting You, and I was just like, oh, this guy he can do no wrong. He is so good, and I know he's going to bring something really grounded to this character that, like, in the wrong hands, this could have been a cartoon villain. Someone could have really leaned into the,
maniacal,
the evilness, and Mason plays it so grounded and, like, still, and, like, our director Macon would give him this note all the time of just more reptilian. And it was like,
I loved
this little
that was my
snake
fuel
over there
every day. It was my fuel every day.
Well, I had wondered, because you are a producer behind it, you guys were making Regretting You together.
Yeah.
I saw even like footage of you guys just in like the sweetest embrace at Comic-Con, where clearly you guys have really bonded.
Oh, yeah.
And so was that a big brotherly thing of like looking at the script with him? Had you already signed on?
Just
Yes.
promo.
Just promo. Oh yeah, it was just for show. It was just for
Sell
show.
these tickets.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have too many scenes together during Regretting You.
Yeah.
But, like, we're around each other enough to know, like, hey, we're on the same wavelength. We really enjoy being around each other. But this movie was where, like, we solidified our lifelong bond, and I will do anything for him. Like, he has, like, he's got such a good head on his shoulder, and he doesn't need me, but I want to just, like, be there to be like, hey, dude, I'm going to make this path as easy as possible for you because there's a lot of fucked up things that, try to get in your way. So he knows that I'm here anytime he needs me.
That's so sweet.
I'm not crying, you are.
Well, and also it's sort of like the web we weave because, Hollywood is large in many facets, but also so small because R.I.P. Quibi, remember it? You guys did a Quibi show together.
You did our joke.
Every time
no
we talk
way,
about Quibi,
every time.
Yo,
And I'm not even in it, but I've been around and it's...
Yeah,
We
R.I.P.
hardly knew ye.
Did it even, I don't even think you guys made it to Quibi. I think it was like pre-Quibi's
We
closure.
did not.
What? They don't even count us as alum.
Shay, tell though the potential of that Quibi show.
First of all, I think Quibi was a good idea. I'm gonna just put it
Interesting.
out
This is
there.
a hot take.
Yeah, I just never got a chance to be on the go.
Okay. Okay. We're talking
like-
about a $2 billion idea that's sunk in 6 months. Continue.
Yeah, bro.
I know.
Like everybody's at the house, but like I like the idea of like you can have different character POVs by how you hold your phone. Anyway,
There was some cool elements.
yeah,
I'll
it
give
was
you that.
like
No,
it's
it
like,
was it was forward thinking
Yeah.
for sure.
But the show, we signed on because first off, directed by the Farrelly brothers.
I was going to say that incredible cast.
Yeah, we
The
got
cast
Bill
was
Murray.
stacked.
Yes. I was
Jimmy
like Pete
Tatro,
Davidson.
Pete Davidson, yeah, and like we genuinely we had a great time, and I think like the real reason we did that show is so me and Shay could meet each other, so that we could
Yeah.
then do this.
Yeah, Fade. That's
Wow.
why Regretting You happened.
There we go.
And
Yeah.
regretting you,
Yep.
but even I feel like again the web we weave because I doubt there were scenes together, but like your father in 21 Jump Street.
Oh
That's
yeah,
true.
You're
Yeah,
popping off point.
Everyone from the now is in a Jump Street.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I hadn't
I
seen
forgot
the Jump
about
Street
that.
by the
didn't
time I
make
did the
that
now,
connection.
and him and Jimmy like made fun of me about it. But it's like it's my dad at work.
You hadn't watched 21 Jump
At
Street
the time,
At the
no.
time.
At the time, no.
Why
Now
is that?
they're amazing.
My
Why
name,
is that?
Jeff.
Because I started my own thing and like I'm worried about my own movies and
You
things
started
like that.
your own thing, so you couldn't see this
Couldn't, bro.
great.
I'm not good at
comedy?
watching
I know, iconic
movies.
comedy.
Sounds like
I used to
excuses.
be able to just watch movies and like be chill, but now when I'm watching movies, it's like that probably sucked to shoot.
I get
or like,
it. I
I'm
get
looking
it.
at people's clothes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
You're
can't.
like, ooh, they're freezing.
Just be
They're
a fan.
pretending.
Yeah.
to be
21
warm.
Jump Street, which was so smart that like the athletic kids were the nerds
Oh, yeah.
and the environmentalist were
That was
the
ahead of its
coolest.
time.
That was
So
so
good.
smart.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
But
what
that's
a
all
great
in the
flip.
writing. Like they
Yeah.
gifted me that character where it was like the kid who, he's the cool kid, but he's like, you don't care about the environment?
Exactly. Like, this is so important.
Yes.
So good. The movie itself, which is called Idiot, which has Dave Franco, O'Shea Jackson, Mason Thames, who are, taking this rich, troubled teen basically to rehab via this shady transport service. As you're doing check-ins with the office, we see people like scraping up cocaine as they're like heading off on the drive.
That's
Hilarious.
just like in the background.
In the
just like
background,
side note. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And there are, because also Macon Blair, who again I was mentioning, is like a comic book writer and a filmmaker and an actor himself, who has done already a number of movies with Peter Dinklage. Of course, Peter comes in like bat out of hell. It's like literally like Meatloaf in Rocky Horror or something, just like bursts onto the scene.
Coco.
It's
I love
like,
Coco.
I mean, and what, I don't want to like give too much away, but it also just plays into the idea of your character of Sheridan and how he gives himself this elite sort of classist look of like, he's untouchable in a way because he's already gotten away with so much and is so wealthy that like nothing affects him in any way.
Yeah.
In any way.
That's kind of a big commentary that we're trying to make in a not like on the nose, in your face way, but like Macon, our director,
Like,
was talking.
we'll never get in trouble.
Yes, exactly. There's a certain thing about being in a certain like wealth bracket that you can feel invincible and get away with shit. And tell us about Sheridan a little bit.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, he's something awesome. I don't know if I'd describe him as that, but
Like, what will it take for him to learn? You know what I mean? Like, everything just keeps getting upped because he just has not been able to be knocked down.
I mean,
yet.
I don't know what much I can say, but I think he learned a little bit of a lesson in this film.
Yes.
Will he take it to heart? Who knows?
To be determined.
Tell us about how you felt when Peter Dinklage came to set, though.
That was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
That was
that's
so
so sick.
amazing. He is so incredible, and I've looked up to him for so long, and he's such a professional, and he's so fun, and he's so nice, and getting to collaborate with him and everybody else on that crazy Coco team, it was such a dream.
It's the first time I've been starstruck in a while.
I know.
And
well, I was going to say,
we were all a little nervous, like with Peter coming to set, and then immediately he's just so
cool.
He's just joking. He's just making you feel at ease. He's the greatest.
Yeah.
I feel like he can do no wrong in my book.
Do you want to be like, tell me about Game of Thrones, or do you not do that kind of thing? Because I feel like that's your thing. Yeah.
So
I think I would have to.
I know, like, I didn't want to ask him about Thrones, but I had a comment that I needed his perspective on, and it's that Bran Stark is a snake.
Yeah.
He's the villain.
Wow.
Like, there's so much he could have stopped, and he chose not to just so he could end up on the throne at the end. And he goes, I didn't think you were going to say that. It was like, like, I can't stand Bran Stark. But then he started talking to me about filming Thrones, and I just,
Well, and because he started it all, do you think he knew with all of the knowledge of the world that he was kicking it all off by falling out that window?
You're going to get me going? And, like, this interview's going to take a turn.
Shay said that you put out 30 tweets about this exact thing? About the Bran Stark of it all?
At least once every 2 months, I put out a tweet that says, fuck you, Bran Stark, you fucking snake.
And what's the reaction typically on Twitter?
Most people agree. Yeah. And then other people are like,
what are you even talking about?
Yeah. But then, like, I put out, like, a long couple of paragraphs explaining it, and a lot of people are like, this theory is kind of...
Oh, interesting.
Right.
Kind of nice, dude.
What I'm more mad about is that Jon Snow came back to life, and it was just totally fine. I felt like he should.
He came back to life? He died?
Yeah, it was like
he died.
A weird pump fake by the writer. Like,
totally died. A witch brought him back to life, and it was just like chill as hell.
Yeah.
Like nothing bad happened from it. It's like when you revive someone from the dead, as we know in the horror world, it's not going to be good.
Sure.
And like, why was he?
Nothing. Like
perfect?
He was chill, and then he was just like, you know what? Also, I quit the wall.
Yeah, he was like,
because
whatever.
I gave my life to the wall. I'm resurrected and dipped. And then at the end, he goes, I'm gonna go back to the wall.
Hey, we're like, what are you doing? I know. I feel like don't get us started. Sarah's already being like, move on. I know. I feel like we could talk offline.
Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But let me just go back to Peter real quick in this movie.
Yes.
He comes in.
Dave's like, let me save this.
Good one, Dave.
With full dead president's face makeup.
Oh, incredible.
He comes in with an AK-47, just shooting that shit into the air. And he doesn't have an crazy amount of screen time, but he makes it
delivers.
Worth it.
So does Nicholas Braun, who I think is such like a secret weapon.
He's the werewolf.
Exactly.
It's so good.
He looks like a member of like Insane Clown Posse, and is
right.
obsessed with. Was that the inspiration?
Yeah,
yes.
Wow.
Yes.
What's
it was
the
giving
character's
full
name,
throttle.
Mason?
Prickabush the werewolf.
Right.
I was gonna say I wrote it down because I was like, I'm not gonna
Werewolf.
remember this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wolf.
That was the hardest try not to laugh thing I've ever been through in my entire career. He has me. Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but
you can give a little bit away.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he plays for me one of his songs.
He's a rapper.
And, he's a rapper.
He's like a SoundCloud local rapper.
And I'm in his studio, and he asked me what's my favorite line of his song. That was not in the script, and I did not know what to say. And I was he's 6'7". This dude's tall, and he's just staring at me with his like shark teeth grills in, and I had no idea what to say. And I was like, in the song you say, "My name's Prickabush the werewolf." It's like your name. You were born as Pricka, but you identify as the werewolf. And he just looks at me and just goes, "That's exactly it." And to this day, I walk around just literally. That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Nick, so this movie almost got made 8 years ago. And Nick was the only one who was cast at that time who has remained. Yes.
Wow.
And so because of that,
Cousin Greg coming through.
There we go. He's kind of been living with this character for 8 years.
Wow.
And he has one really iconic scene that Mason's talking about in this film. And I swear to God, I've talked to him about this. He was like, I've been living that scene out in my head for this many years. And it was just living in him. And you see him as
that's
the most...
a hard thing to deal with.
No.
Slash let go of it.
I was going to say,
exactly, on the other
side.
Yeah, man.
Which is so funny, which I kind of do love that, Dave, like your career has also evolved, that you have become a producer, because it does seem like you love that aspect of it and knowing that information and being involved with it head to toe.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I came onto this pretty early on. I was talking with Macon about this project 8 years ago when they first made it, and it almost went. It fell apart, and then a couple years ago, I reached out and I was like, "Hey, man, no pressure, but if I can help in any way, I'd love to come on as a producer, try to help get money." And he was like, "Let's go." And so the first 2 calls I made were to O'Shea, who I had worked with on The Now for Quibi, R.I.P., and then me. to Mason. I was like, "These are my boys. I know we're gonna kill this together." And it's my favorite thing, just kind of putting the pieces together. And then also, like, at this point, I love every step of the process. Like, now that we're into the marketing phase, when we first signed on with IFC to distribute the film, I was like, "Hey guys, I like, if you're down, I have an amazing poster guy. I have an amazing guy who cuts trailers. Please trust me on this." And they've been so collaborative, and they let me run with it. And with a small movie like this, the marketing, the materials are so important.
Absolutely.
And so we put out these amazing trailers, and that's what helps you cut through. And that's, I think, what people are really responding to right now.
Well, that, and this is going to be one of those movies with incredible word of mouth.
Yeah.
Like, I know the people that are going to go for that opening weekend and then tell everyone to go see it.
Hopefully,
because it's that kind of energy.
There's like a handful of scenes that people will just be talking about and being like, "You gotta fucking see this with an audience." Yeah.
I don't want to say too much because the setup of it is incredible, but there is an explosive diarrhea moment that will be lore.
I think it's top 3 diarrhea moments in cinematic history.
I think so. I was trying to think what is top.
You know what else is up there is Jeff Daniels in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
What else though? I can't even think
I know.
of
I'm like, name another
I don't
iconic.
care. And this, it might be a crazy take. It's top 2, and it's not 2.
I agree with you.
Right. It is, but it isn't.
It's one of those scenes people
It's
are
philosophical.
laughing for the next 3 scenes, still just like tickled by it.
Like, I can't believe what I just saw.
Yes.
And like it's a scene that you talk about in the car on the way home.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I just remember I was I wasn't in the room. I was watching by the monitors. Me and Kieran were sitting down, and we knew the poop was coming. Everybody was wearing like these.
We knew the poop was coming.
Hazmat, borderline.
And cameras were covered, and me and Kieran are watching, and we have our phones out just videoing, and. I'm telling you, there was this camera angle down by his legs.
Oh, God.
A hero angle looking up at me.
Hero angle.
Yeah.
God, that poop came out so fast. That covered the camera.
It literally browned out the lens.
and me and Kieran just looked at each other and was like, "Holy shit!"
Oh my God.
It was great. It was great.
How many times did you have to shoot that?
2. We nailed it on we nailed it on the first take.
And Dave wanted to go again.
And I was like, "Guys, all right, if we were to go again, what would we do different?" And they were like, "We could give it a little texture." So they brought in some like Cocoa Crispy.
I was just gonna say, what do you even? That like it will haunt you.
I called my wife at the end of that day and I said, "I think I just did the craziest thing I've ever done on camera," which is saying
you guys
something because
morphed
I've done
into
a lot.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, exactly.
You guys have literally
Me and
morphed
my
into
wife,
one.
I have literally been. My penis has been stuck inside of her. In a
Yes.
That was a crazy
and this
sight.
is crazier.
Yeah.
This is a crazy Tuesday.
Remember, I texted Dave when I saw it.
When you saw it
You
together?
did when you were watching together.
I texted Dave when I saw that scene, and it was the funniest conversation I've ever had.
What'd we say?
Man.
I'm keeping that to myself.
Okay.
Oh, I was like, I want that.
Hey.
Ooh,
What a tease.
Mason.
But no, genuinely, I love that movie.
That movie's
is
incredible.
It's so original and so good and so sad and fun, weirdly. I mean, maybe just for me.
When you so the ending of that movie divides people because some people are like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad I'm single," and then other people are like, "This is the most romantic thing I've ever seen." Where do you fall?
I'm in a middle.
Okay.
Okay.
I can feel the passion that they have, and the passion drives everything.
You're like, I'm slightly into the idea of a codependent morphing into
You know,
one
maybe I want to
relationship.
morph, but I'm kind of in a middle gray area, more leaning towards.
You'll get there.
I think there was.
You'll want to morph.
Hold on, I think there
Yeah.
was some very unhealthy aspects.
Sure, that's fair.
But I think it's very romantic morphing with
You know what
your
else is good?
You messed yourself up for that movie too.
I did mess myself up.
Yeah,
It's went full Franco, baby.
Full Franco.
10 out of 10 Franco.
You know what else is maybe a top 3 biopic ever? Straight out of
Oh,
college.
100%.
Well,
no, that's number one for me. I've told Shay this since day one. I love that movie.
Which,
Super
you know what?
rewatchable.
When we go through sort of like looking at your careers, it's like, all within sort of like an interesting timeline where technically Dave You launched your career 20 years ago, appearing in Seventh Heaven.
Oh my God.
In 2006.
Damn.
That was the first thing.
Yes, Benjamin
Bainsworth.
Highway to Sell.
Benjamin Bainsworth.
Sell. Great title. 20 years ago. I wish it was 10 years ago, but it was 11 years ago.
Yeah.
It was Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah,
and
nice.
you had been in a short film, but like roughly 5 years ago. A little bit more, but The Black Phone, really your breakout
Was
5
Black
years
Phone
ago.
only 5 years ago?
I can't believe it's only
It
5
came
years
out in
ago.
2021. You would have
That's
filmed it
weird.
prior,
Feels
but
so long ago.
you know, sort of like looking at these, like sort of like 5, 10. You know what I mean? Like all of you and coming together. But let's go to Seventh Heaven first.
Ooh,
Let's go to Straight Outta
Jeez.
Compton.
100%.
What do you remember about this?
I remember being in my trailer beforehand and my heart beating out of my chest.
Freaking out.
And I just remember texting my best friend, who I've known since I was 5 years old. And I'm just like, dude, I don't know what to do, man. I can't go out there. And he was this is very earnest, but he was just like, dude, they cast you for a reason. Go out there and kill it.
Yeah.
But I do remember, so Highway to Sell is what the episode's called. And I remember do you remember Ruthie from the show?
Yeah, of
the
course.
character Ruthie. So I find her number just like on the boardwalk. It's just like on a piece of paper. And I have a crush on her, so I decided to call her. And I remember like just being so anxious and nervous. And I remember like bringing the cell phone up to my ear on the first take. And I remember asking the director, like, is it okay if I dial her number before I bring the cell phone up to my ear? He's like, yeah, that's what humans do. You gotta like treat this like a human moment. I was like,
That's how
okay,
phones work.
I didn't know if we wanted like speed, like or like how quickly we wanted to get
Meanwhile,
through this.
randomly found the phone number on the boardwalk.
Exactly, totally.
Thanks, God.
Exactly. That was Seventh Heaven.
Yes, Benjamin Bainsworth.
That's
But,
such a good
was
name.
that high of like, oh, I'm in the right thing though? This is like, I had such a high of doing it. I can't wait to do the next thing. This
I
is
don't
it.
know if I fully got there yet, just because I was so anxious. I didn't allow myself to fully enjoy it, and honestly, like I don't think that fully came until I started making my own stuff. I was doing these kind of short films and skits for the website Funny or Die.
Oh, I love Funny or Die.
Yeah. And that was just like me and my buddy who I grew up with, and we were doing everything. We were writing them, directing them, acting in them, editing, and that was kind of my film school. And even though it was on a much smaller scale, it was like, oh, this feels representative to my sensibilities, at least
And
at
what
that
I
time.
want to do.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we were putting out really weird shit, but it just felt like we had no parameters. There was no pressure. Like, no one knew who I was. And so I was like, let's go for it. Like, worst case scenario, no one sees these things. But best case scenario, they're original and weird enough that they cut through.
Yeah, and gives people an idea of who you are
Yes,
and your
yes,
sensibilities. Absolutely. So then O'Shea, a little 11 years ago at this point, with your debut, a lot of weight to that, obviously, because you were starring as your dad.
Yeah. That
Like,
was
high pressure.
nuts. Yeah. And I was going to USC for screenwriting.
Go Trojans, baby.
And,
Go Trojans.
right on, you
Right
know
on.
what time
Yep,
it
here
is.
we go.
And then in the beginning / middle of my second year, my dad tells me, hey, they're taking the NWA movie pretty serious. I was like, oh man, it's dope.
Yeah, you're like, good for you. Whatever, Dad.
Congrats, Dad.
Congrats again.
Yeah,
doing
we get it. Shut up about it already.
And then he was like, in a perfect world, I would want you to play me. And
Wow.
now,
That's amazing.
immediately, I'm like, fuck. You know, like,
Oh my God. Because had you been thinking about acting, or was it mainly screenwriting? You were like
I wanted to
tiptoeing
be
around it?
on the other side of the camera because, like,
Well,
my
and your dad's an
family-
incredible writer and screenwriter and
Yes,
all the things.
I mean, he's got the tools, and like, you know, so I would rather make the story and then see how it makes people feel, see what I can get, you know, people to feel, and I get to keep my privacy. My family is so heavy on privacy. You know, my dad didn't do cribs. My dad didn't do like.
I wish he would have.
He just doesn't like. We're just,
I want to see that crib.
It's just work and then back home. You know, that's just how it's all. My dad's always taught me, you're never going to be able to see yourself in your car. So make sure your interior is really where you put your money in. So like home, your home base, that's where your fun is supposed to be. Outside is outside. Make sure your home is where everything you want is.
I gotta clean my car, man.
Yeah, dude.
My car is dirty.
Getting serious inspiration.
And so, like, that's just, you know, how it is. And so when
That's
I
great
know
advice.
what getting into the light, what it means, you know? So in my mind, my dad's never asked me to do anything except take out the trash. He is literally like, this is one of those forks in the road. And so I said, yeah, scared to death.
Sure.
But looked super confident, saying, "Yeah, all right, yeah, let's do it." Yeah.
Wow.
And you never acted in any way before that?
I mean, he threw me into this movie called Janky Promoters. I got one line, and I slam a door in his face.
That's it.
And that's all you needed. That's all you needed.
Shay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you are so good in the straight.
Yes, and again, like there were a lot of eyes on that.
Yeah.
There was a huge announcement about it. It was like, this is so thrilling, massive success at the box office.
And what he didn't tell me is, number one, he the first thing he says is, you're gonna have to audition. I'm like, please make me audition, because I'm like, if I don't get it, at least I tried. And what he didn't tell me is he goes to the higher ups who are doing the movie, maybe the director, maybe the suits, and they said, Cube, is this a joke?
Oh wow.
Dope. All right, need that. And so once
you do, though, to prove yourself now. Now you're hungry for it.
And so, I put everything I had into it. Going to auditions. Gary Gray saw me after the first audition. He got me my acting coach, Aaron Spicer. After that, I was there every week, every other day, some weeks. I flew to New York to work with Susan Batson. I stayed in New York for a week. I left school, I put everything into it.
How long was that whole audition process?
2 years.
Wow.
2 years.
It's wild. It's wild.
And I left in the middle of my second year. I'm auditioning for 2 years. I watched all my friends graduate without me on Instagram. And they're like, what's going on with the movie? And I'm like, the fuck if I know. And so now I'm scared. Now I ruined my life. And then one day they were like, we're going to do this a screen test. We're going to, see like who we like. And I remember going into that, and there was a guy, he had a Jerry curl wig. And I was like, all right, for sure. How you doing? You going for easy? He was like, no, I'm going for Cube. That's impossible, because I'm going for Cube. So then from now I'm a little upset. So now I'm fucking frowning all day. Like my eyebrows.
That's all you needed.
Flared up, and I got the part. We made it work, and then as soon as I get it, everybody in the articles is like, of course you got it. I just got pushed in. They don't know the fear I just went through.
Exactly.
And then the movie comes out, I crush, and then those same people are like, well, of course he did. It's his dad.
My God.
And so it's like, oh my God. So then I told my team, I said, every single role I take has to be different from the last one we did, because they're trying to shortchange me. They're trying to say I don't have what it takes. And I didn't get work for a year.
Was Ingrid Goes West next?
Yeah. And that fell in my lap on accident.
Batman
And
obsessed.
it was
I
just
love that movie.
You gotta take those sometimes. And without Ingrid Goes West, because Variety gave me top 10 at Sundance because of Ingrid, I don't know what I like. I don't know where my career goes.
Perfect next movie for you.
Yeah. So it was like that. Things are just they line up the way that they're supposed to. A little funny, another tidbit. I don't say this story a lot, but straight out Compton. My office scene was not in the final script or the script that we read before we started filming.
Is when you
started breaking stuff.
It was omitted from the script, and so I put my film student hat on. I told them why my arc, I broke it down. I still got the email to this day. Broke it down on why we need that scene back. And I had to fight for that scene. That's my biggest scene.
Yeah.
But now I have to have these little petty little fires that I light under myself to get me going. Now I think you don't think I can do it. You don't think I'm gonna bring it.
Exactly.
You want someone to tell you, hey, talk shit, and you're just be like, hey, you ain't that good.
You
We're
know
gonna
what?
beat you.
I'm gonna watch me bring it back to idiots, because that was a little bit of what I told myself when Dave hit me and was like, hey, I got this movie. There's a role that I really think you could kill, which is great. My friend believes in me. But if I mess up, that I lose my friend believed in me, and I
well,
dropped
right.
the
I don't want to
ball.
let Dave Franco down.
Yeah, so like now
Yes.
that's that fake
Yes.
fire, you know, like I like you get in your head, and that's what pushes me forward. This has been very.
Was it? Wait, I have a cathartic question. Was this a new level of bonding with your father, though? Because I can't imagine him sitting around the table talking to you and your siblings, being like, "And there's this man, Jerry." Do you know what I mean? And so you probably learned so much about your dad and his friends and that family aspect, or were you aware of it?
I went onto that set feeling like these are the stories I've heard my whole life.
Okay, so you were
I'm a tour
like-
bus baby.
Yeah,
so like,
true, you would have been on
I'm hearing the stories, they laughing about it, but what I saw was the first time seeing my dad kick it with his friends.
Yeah.
You know, like them laughing at stuff. Like it was the first time I got to see that. And it felt nice, and to be able to be up there representing him, and there were moments like in the Fuck the Police concert scene. I told the guys how it really went. They all really looked at each other and were like, "What you trying to do? Like, we gonna do it or
Right,
not?
are we doing it?
Like,
Yeah.
that moment, like that is from the real." You know, the real story. And so, like, I had those tidbits. And,
This is why
you know, I was so
much.
scared during that movie. It took me so long to, like, get my feet wet because, like, I'm in my mind, yes, I'm doing a film and I want to do well. But it's also like it's my family's name, and like so now
Yes.
I'm looking at things that I might not have to pay attention to. Like, you know, you got to focus on your own job, and so I have all this pressure on me. And there were times where Gary Gray I would see him talk to other actors and like, you know, give them those pats on the back, and I felt like I needed those, and I wasn't getting them. And like I started to think Gary didn't like me. And Jason Mitchell, my guy, I finally opened up to him, and he was like, "Bro, what the hell is Gary gonna tell you? That's not how your dad would do it. It's your dad."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Oh, yeah, all right."
But also
That's fair.
maybe Gary had the insight that like you needed that chip on your
Yeah.
shoulder, man.
Yes,
Man,
all right,
that guy's
stop
directing
messing
you.
with me.
Yeah.
I'm a Pisces, bro. I'm emotional.
Please hug me. Tell me.
Man, my
and then,
God.
like Mason, for you, I mean, you had done short films. You had done a series on Apple TV. You know, but really, you know, within the last 5 years, have had a really incredible and explosive career where it does seem like multiple things coming out in a year. Was there a moment where you started to look around, being like, because you're still young, to be like, wow, this is going to be my career. I'm an
It's-
actor now.
It's
Yeah.
insane. I can't. The past, I
Probably has
think
been nonstop for you.
it
believe
has.
5 years.
I can't believe that either. That's weird for me.
Yeah, because
it
I think
feels
your
like,
first short film was like 2017, 2018 maybe.
I think
but
so.
Really,
And how do you know about that? I forgot about
She does
that.
her research.
Yeah.
That
She
is,
does her job.
You're Mason Thames.
but
We
I've
have
been
to know.
trying
what
to
we
find a
gotta
link to that thing, and I can't find it. But it's been weird. I mean, for some reason, it feels like this has been my whole life, or just a big part of it. And obviously, I'm only 19. I got a lot more to go, but I
But
love.
you're picking interesting roles, and
Yeah.
sort of like as Dave was saying, like do something completely
Yeah.
different, which is great that you're doing that sort of thing. So obviously you're being drawn to interesting things, and they're offering you interesting things, which is
Yeah.
also great.
No, Idiots was the easiest thing to say yes to in my life. I've always wanted to play a villain, and the script and the crew and the people making it, it was such an easy choice because it was such a safe environment to play and figure out these characters and serve Macon's vision best I can. And Sheridan, I think, is I think becoming my favorite character I've ever played.
Wow.
Seeing it last night with a real audience was pretty special.
Yeah, and
Oh, I
people would
bet.
come up to me, and I've never been happier to hear how much people hated me.
I've been in that
It's a
position
compliment.
where like
Yeah.
you do something on screen and everyone claps because you're getting taken down.
Oh, I love
that
it.
means you are doing your job.
Oh, I love it.
100%.
And they're like, so what was your inspiration for, like, people come up to me at the premiere, what was your inspiration for this character, and like, what did you want? And I was like, well, I wanted to be as punchable as possible.
Yeah.
They're like, well, it worked. I'm like, I did
Yeah.
my job right. But I loved making this movie, and I'm so proud of it. And I really hope people go see it and enjoy it, because it's a hell of a ride.
Mason, how much do you think about like because you're so young and you just have so many opportunities, like how much do you think about where you want to go and exactly what you want to do, or does it feel more just like, hey, I'm just taking it job to job?
No, I mean, if I'm gonna do a job, I have to be so passionate about it. I mean, I really want to direct. That's my dream. That's my goal. Is
got a producer right here.
I know.
I got you, man.
I got the guys.
See, my father scared the hell out of me about directing.
Wait, how?
Because he directed this movie called Players Club. Shout out to Players Club. And boy, he was stressed.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot, dude.
You have to make decisions, which I think is the hardest thing. Which I know that sounds so like duh, but it's hard to make decisions when you have to make every single decision.
Man.
Yeah.
But I got
all right, good luck. No, you got it. Dave,
you wanted this young?
Dave will be your guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right now I'm taking the best film school I can, so I'm just soaking up every moment on every job, shadowing every director. I'm going into the editing room pretty soon for How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Oh, amazing.
I love that aspect of filmmaking, and if it's in the cards for me one day, I'm gonna go full force. I'm just gonna find something I'm super passionate about and bring that story to life.
That's awesome.
Can I say one thing I've noticed about what you're doing? You, like you said, you're being very selective about what you're doing, as opposed to, I think a lot of actors get freaked out about downtime, and they'd rather just work on something that's just okay rather than being patient. And you are allowing yourself to have that time to wait for the perfect next thing.
Yeah.
And it's really admirable at this age, especially.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't have that patience. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I love this. Look at you three.
I can't stand being at the house. But like when I'm filming, I'm like, man, I miss home. But then them 2 weeks.
Then when you're home, you're like,
them 2 weeks of just unemployment.
2 weeks, and then you start going crazy, being like, I gotta do something. I gotta do something.
Yeah.
I get it.
Now, on a final note, because Dave, the last time you were on, we'd asked you for a horror film recommendation.
Oh, yeah,
I
I
love
got you.
horror.
Always.
You gave us Maniac from like 1980, which was great.
Isn't that a wild,
like,
violent, awesome ride?
Yes, it was. Incredible score. A sort of like serial killer targeting women in New York.
This
but
is
like
one that-
1980s.
Yes, this is like a cult classic, but not one that people talk about enough.
Yes, and so that was great. What would you recommend? What would be our next homework assignment?
I got you.
Okay.
We got this movie called Demons. It's an Italian film, but it's like, I think we could only find the dubbed version, which is still awesome.
Okay.
But this was, Dario Argento produced this one. And this is a movie where for the first 30 minutes, you're not quite sure what movie you're even in. And then all of a sudden, the body horror starts. And you're like, this shit goes as hard as anything I've ever seen.
Wow.
And it's all practical effects.
Loves his body
it's like
horror.
really goopy and nasty.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Okay.
Once it gets going,
It's
are
on the
flying
list.
Demons.
I love that. Demons.
Dave,
and it's
okay?
and it's an actual Italian, but you saw it dubbed in English.
It's like demoni.
Oh
my God.
So classy. So classy.
Yes.
Okay, we'll look into it
There we
and we'll
go.
do an update and watch and give a little recap.
Awesome.
The movie is Idiots. It's in theaters Friday, August 28th. Dave Franco, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Mason Thames. Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming through and hanging out with us. It's been such a delight.
Thank you for
Open door policy.